Hello and welcome to the channel. A Roadside Stand by Robert Frost. Robert Frost's poem A Roadside Stand highlights the struggles of poor rural people who try to make a living by selling goods to passing city dwellers. The poem captures their deep sense of disappointment and longing for a better life. The poem begins by describing a small roadside stand set up beside a busy road. The poor farmers who own the stand hope that passing cars will stop and buy their goods. Wild berries, squash, and other simple items. However, most vehicles pass without noticing, and if they do, they seem irritated by the sight of the sand, which they believe spoils the beauty of the landscape. The poet expresses sympathy for these rural people who dream of earning some money to improve their lives. They long for the prosperity they see in cities and believe that money could help them experience the luxuries they hear about in movies. However, their dreams remain unfulfilled as city dwellers ignore their humble business. Frost also criticizes government schemes that claim to help these poor people by relocating them to villages near theaters and stores. He calls these social workers greedy good doers and beneficent beasts of prey, implying that their so called help only robs the poor of their independence and traditional way of life. Instead of empowering them, such schemes make them dependent and take away their dignity. The poem ends with the poet's deep sorrow for these people. He describes how they wait in vain for a customer to stop. Occasionally, a car does stop, but only to turn around, ask for directions, or demand fuel, none of which benefits the poor vendors. Seeing their pain, the poet at one point wishes they could be freed from their suffering in an instant. However, he quickly realizes the harsh reality of life and questions whether he himself would accept such a fate. Theme: the economic disparity between rural and urban people, the false promises of development, the helplessness of poor farmers, the insensitivity of city people. Now, in details. In the poem A Roadside Stand, Robert Frost describes the lives of poor people who set up a small roadside stall to sell their products, hoping that passing city dwellers will stop and buy something. The stand is a simple wooden structure and it is located beside a busy road where cars drive quickly, paying no attention to it. The people running the stall are selling basic things like wild berries, squash, and even paintings of beautiful landscapes. But the busy city people who pass by are either too focused on their journey or annoyed by the sight of the stall. They think it ruins the natural beauty of the place. Some people stop for reasons other than buying, like asking for directions or looking to turn around, but none of them are interested in helping the poor vendors by buying anything. The people at the stand hope that by selling their goods they can earn some money that would improve their lives. They dream of experiencing the life of comfort and luxury that they hear about from the city or see in movies. They believe that money could bring them the better life they desire. However, this dream remains out of reach as the people passing by don't even stop to support them. The poet also talks about government plans that aim to help these people by moving them to villages near stores and theaters. But Frost criticizes these plans, calling them false promises. He refers to the people who try to help as greedy God doers and suggest that these plans don't really solve the problem. Instead, they just take away the people's independence and traditional way of life, leaving them more dependent and less able to make decisions for themselves. The poem ends with Frost expressing his sadness for the poor people at the stand. They wait all day, hoping for someone to stop and buy their goods, but no one does. Occasionally, a car stops, but it's just to ask for directions or turn around. The poet feels sympathy for these people and wishes there was a way to end their suffering quickly. However, he then questions whether he himself would accept such a fate if someone were to offer to take his pain away. In this way, the poem reflects on the challenges faced by poor people in rural areas and the unfairness of the system that keeps them stuck in poverty.